Here we go. Here's a list of some disturbing movies that are based on or inspired by a true story. First up, we got The Gray Man. So the movie is based off the life of Albert Fish. And Albert Fish was a man who was terrible to children, and he did terrible things to children. And the movie shows us how sick he really was. But before he was a serial killer, he was a young boy living in an orphanage. And that boy went through a whole lot of trauma living in that orphanage, and he has never forgotten it. It's had a serious impact on his adult life. For instance, he was getting whipped in the orphanage, and now as an adult, he enjoys being whipped. He whips himself. It's just brutal to see and hear what has happened to these children. Then next we got No Child of Mine. No Child of Mine is about Carrie, and Carrie has a very, very hard home life. Carrie has monsters as parents. They're emotionally and verbally abusive, but they both sexually abuse their daughter. And they both abuse her for their own pleasure, but they have no problem sharing their daughter with others. Carrie's dad, one of the worst men I've ever seen in my life. Carrie's dad pimps his daughter out. We see Carrie's dad use her to pay off a debt. Yeah, his daughter walks away with a grown man to a back room, and he's A-okay with it. No Child of Mine will break your heart because it will also show you how much the system does fail children who have been abused. Then next we got Holy Spider. So the movie's about this journalist who's investigating this serial killer. Now, this serial killer goes by the Spider Killer. And recently he has been taking out sex workers and dumping their bodies all over the city. And here's the deal. They find the killer, we meet the killer, and we find out that he's doing this because he is cleansing the streets. He believes he's doing society a favor because he's taking out certain people. Right, and then next we got Silenced. Well, Silence is about this teacher, and he just took a new position at this academy for deaf students. It's there, he notices that the behavior of some of the students is kind of off. And later, this leads him to find out that this school has been sexually abusing their students for quite some time now. However, this whole thing has been kept under wraps because the headmaster is cool with everybody. Politicians, police, community leaders, you name it. Silence is hard to watch, like it's graphic. There are certain scenes with these grown men, gives you the heebie-jeebies, it creeps you out. And lastly, we have The Window. The movie's about Mina, and Mina is being forced into a marriage. You see, Mina has to marry her husband because her brother has recently taken out her husband's little brother. And so to repay for what he's did, Mina now has to marry this man and endure torture for the rest of her life. Meanwhile, her brother gets to live free. Sad as these type of arrangements are still happening till this day. There are countless girls like Mina out there right now.